Well, hello everyone. It's nice to see you again. We're jumping straight into the first panel today, and the title is DeepTech, when corporates and startups join hands for meaningful engineering. And the speakers are Sonja Sulzmaier, Markus Vogt, Markus Beier, Thomas Waldmann, and Andreas Warta. So please be with us and enjoy the panel. See you soon.
Also hinten raus, dann bitte, hat er ja gesagt, drin
It's a
bleiben.
It's a scope.
Go.
Okay. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our deep tech session here at Würth Summit, when corporates and startups join hands for meaningful engineering innovation. When you look into Wikipedia, deep tech, the companies provide technology based on substantial scientific advances in high-tech engineering innovation. This may take a long time to reach commercial application and often requires large investments. But then at the end, the underlying intellectual property is often very hard to reproduce. So it's a hard way to get there. However, when you are there, it might be really rewarding. And we have an honorable round here of speakers who is involved in a lot of, or has been involved in a lot of deep tech innovations. And we have one thing in common before I introduce you to our speakers. We have one thing in common. We are all part of the Innovation World Cup ecosystem. And I will show you very shortly what the Innovation World Cup is. Wait a minute. We are the world leading open innovation platform with a lot of experience, a lot of cash prizes every year. And many techpreneurs have already taken part, and we made them visible to the world. And what is very, very important, that submitting a solution in the Innovation World Cup is free of charge. So if you have an interesting deep tech solution, IoT solution, join one of our competitions. You can see here we have different competitions. The 12th IoT Innovation World Cup. In the 12th IoT Innovation World Cup, we have the ST-Win Challenge, the Rapid M2M Challenge of Markus Beier, who also is now in our panel, the EBV IoT Hero of Markus Vogt with a cash prize of 10,000 euros for the best European startup, and different prizes also in healthcare, smart construction. So check on innovationworldcup.com. Here you can see also the categories. If you have a solution in smart manufacturing, healthcare, agriculture, construction, sports and lifestyle, automotive, home, transport and city, submitted to the Innovation World Cup. And now this was the short intro. Now I'm already want to introduce you to our speakers. So the first is Markus Vogt. He is the Director, Segment Healthcare and Personal Devices of EBV Elektronik. EBV Elektronik is an Ethernet company and the market leader in electronic distribution in Europe. Markus, maybe you can, yes, we can see your name on so everyone can see you. Thomas Waldmann, he is the Startup and Venture Manager of Würth Elektronik. Then you can see myself. I'm Sonja Sulzmaier, Managing Partner of the Innovation World Cup Series. Andreas Warta of VARTA Microbattery. He's a key account manager there. And Markus Beier, an IoT evangelist of Microtronics, a very, very innovative company in Austria. And now we directly go into our discussion. And I have a question to Markus. So Markus, you and the company you are working for, EBV Elektronik, have supported many tech startups. So can you list the typical challenges deep tech entrepreneurs have to address?
Okay, good question. So there are a lot of challenges if you start with your own company, with your own design. And I just picked out four of the major ones. So one of them is, of course, which sub-market I want to address with my solution. And very, very important, what is the right time to enter that market? If you're too early, you get busted. If you're too late, all the others took the business. Second, the decision is you have an idea, but should I do everything on my own? Do I have a portion of hardware? Do I have a portion of software? Do I have to provide services? If the decision is that you split these tasks, make sure that you find the right partners. Then, of course, with all projects, and especially entering a pretty new market, planning is crucial. So if you need to find the right planning for your design, be as precise as possible and select key milestones to achieve and celebrate. And then in the end, Sonja mentioned it already, if you start an innovation and a disruptive technology, you need a strong financial budget. So please make sure that you have the right financial partners in the background to finance the development and then the production of the product.
Thank you, Markus.
Yep. So that was 4 of the multiple challenges you have.
Thank you very much. Yeah, clear. If it's such a long-term, a long way to get to the market with a deep tech innovation, this really requires a strong investment period before. So can you illustrate these challenges? Do you have a recent example? You worked with a tech startup, just to give us a little bit of an impression about the timing and also the topics, the tech partner portfolio topics you had there.
Yeah. Here I want to pick out 2 examples. So especially now in the current situation, vital sign monitoring was everywhere in the press, and we have numerous startup companies entering that market. And the discussion is, and this I mentioned with this correct sub-market, do I want to enter directly the medical certified medical control market, or do I start in a more consumer type market to gain experience? And here we had 2 companies, they built a vital sign monitor for including a watch, and they started first in the sport and fitness area. Then COVID-19 came, or Corona situation came, so they expanded their solution and entered a medical controlled clinical study. So they're in the mid of a clinical study to have a system monitoring COVID-19 patients. A second one is we do have customers, and that was the second challenge which I mentioned before. They don't care. They are in the IoT world, so and they don't care about the hardware. Their strengths and their knowledge is in the software and in the ecosystem. So what they do is they pick out an IoT sensor module, which we can provide or other partners can provide, and they build their software solution on that platform. And with the addition of, for example, FNet IoT solutions, they can expand the ecosystem to support, for example, cloud solutions. So these are just two examples.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting, because it shows, let's say, that it's not only the solution you have, but you have to have the right partners, and maybe the core competence of your solution is maybe only a part of it, like the software or maybe the hardware. If it comes to hardware, we have some solutions. I remember, let's say, a Polish startup, Stetomy, maybe you all know, and he told me that they have more than 200 components in those wireless stethoscope. How can a deep tech startup handle such a situation and select suitable components with such a high amount of different, let's say, decisions also to be taken on the device level, let's say? on the
Okay.
component level.
Yeah. So for sure, you can do everything on your own, but you have to really go through all the information on the internet and collect all the information, and that takes a lot of time. So here I would suggest to look for, let's say, a suitable reference design to start with. It might be not the 100% solution you're seeking, but roughly 70 to 80% is already solved in a reference design. These reference designs are provided by some of our suppliers or directly from EBV. So if we choose one of these platforms and then decide, okay, these are the next steps, we can help with our field application engineers to optimize this reference design and bring it in a shorter time to the market.
Mm-hmm. Yes. so this is a great support you're offering there, and I'm aware that you have more than 180 field application engineers in a lot of countries who are ready to support also the startups who need this support. You are also supporting via a cash prize inside the IoT Innovation World Cup. It's the EBV IoT Hero, and you give a cash prize of 10,000 euros to the best European startup. So can you tell us a little bit more about the selection criteria when it comes to choosing the winner?
So first of all, we look at all the subsegments you're registered for. But first of all, it needs to be an innovative and a realistic idea and a business model behind. It doesn't make sense if it's just a splendid idea, but there's no business case behind. It doesn't make sense. The timeline and what I mentioned in the beginning of the discussion, the financial background, need to be stable and sustainable for the next coming years. And because our idea is not to have a spot business with you at a certain point of time, we want to support you for the next 10 to 20 years. This is the philosophy of EBV Elektronik and their customers. And preferably, since we are an European company, we are a part of the American international organization, but EBV Elektronik is a European company. So preferably the production, or at least part of it, should be in Europe. We can support worldwide production, but to start and entering a market, it's always better to have the first production here in Europe because of the shorter ways and, of course, less difficulties in starting a production. So these are part of the criteria.
Thank you for this. So if some of the people who are listening now, if these criteria also are applicable to your solution, then please submit your solution. So the next panelist is Andreas Warta, key account manager of Warta Microbattery. So power and energy supply are at the heart of many IoT devices. So what is essential when it comes to defining the right battery concept for a complex IoT device?
Yeah, good morning to you all. So defining the right battery for an IoT device, or also for all end devices, is one of the most important parts. So the battery defines to a lot the design and the size of a new device or a new IoT device, wireless IoT device, and so also the whole lifetime of the product is depending on the battery. Just for example, we see in the IoT devices two main battery applications or main battery technologies, lithium primary batteries or non-rechargeable, and also lithium rechargeable batteries. These are the main technologies we see in the IoT market in the last couple of years. And just for example, for the non-rechargeable or primary batteries, these batteries have an initial capacity, and this initial capacity defines also the lifetime of the product. And if the initial capacity is, so to say, empty, then the end customer has to change the battery if this is possible. If you have a non-changeable battery designed in, then the lifetime of the product is also done. For a rechargeable battery, it's a bit different. The rechargeable battery defines also the lifetime of the product. Normally, you can't change a rechargeable battery in the end product. And so the cycle performance of the battery is one of the most important points. How long you can, or how often you can charge and recharge, discharge and recharge the battery. And if this lifetime goes to the end, also the lifetime of the product goes to the end. So this is one of the most important points, the lifetime of the products. And the second point is the pulse profile or pulse capability. So normally you have to use with an IoT device some kind of wireless protocol. And depending on the wireless protocol, the battery has also provided the pulse current. And there are some difference in the pulse currents. For example, for an non-rechargeable or primary battery, a lot of the developers and engineers do a trial with a battery. There is, so to say, a fresh cell, comes directly from the factory, and then they test their pulse profile and their protocol and wireless protocols. And but the difference is when with a primary battery, when the cell is, for example, 50% discharge, or you have only 50% of the capacity available, then the pulse capability performance is different from a fresh cell. And this is very important to know that, and to ask and discuss this with the battery supplier. We can answer and discuss with our customers what is possible and which protocols and currents can also the primary battery provide nearly to the end of discharge. So also important is the temperature performance. A battery is a chemical system, and this is for both technologies, for non-rechargeable and rechargeable batteries. There are differences in also the pulse capability in depending on different temperatures. The higher temperatures normally not so much problem. This is more a part of higher self-discharge at higher temperatures. Pulse capability is depending on the minus temperatures. For example, when you work on the room temperature, it works very well. On the minus 10 or minus 20 degrees, it doesn't work. So you need also in this case the right battery technology. So these are the four main points. There are many more, but in this sessions, these four are the most important for the developers to think about before designing in.
Wow, that's really, if you have to think, let's say, if you look at a DeepTech or IoT solution, and you have a lot of, you already have a lot of, let's say, different topics to address if battery is already such a complex topic. So it's if you have to, it's good to have a great partner also there. And I know that also batteries are also important when it comes to the form factor of an IoT device. So do you customize battery solutions also to very specific requirements?
So to say, yes, we provide customized solutions. Solutions in this case, we normally produce cells, so to say the Beier cells, and then we adapt the Beier cells to any kind of assembly, some kind of wires, SMD connecting, THD connecting, complete battery packs with multiple batteries inside. And also that is a possibility that we produce, so to say, customized batteries, but this is really depending on really high quantities. So if we do a totally new battery in this, so to say, then we need really high quantities for that. But our way is to produce, so to say, cells in standard we can use for the customer applications and do it in the assembly and match then with the customer needs. And we provide together with our customers then, or develop together with our customers the solution.
So on the basis of those, let's say, small coin cells, whatever, you can then create also battery solutions with a different form factor.
Yes.
Did I understand correctly? Okay.
Yeah.
And because small and medium sized enterprises, and we have a lot of startups and scale-ups hopefully listening to us. They usually don't need millions of pieces. Yeah. So it's like, what do you offer there? Is there joint prototyping in place? That they also understand if they are at the moment not in the position to order or to think about thousands or millions of pieces.
Okay. We fully understand that startups cannot or mostly not able to buy thousands or hundreds of thousands of batteries in the first step, and we have to take care that this is also possible, and we can provide the startups and solution. And what we do, we at the first step we search in our database, and we have done hundreds of different assemblies and different solutions in the last years. And so we search at first, can we do something from our portfolio? And then the next step is if we don't found anything that match for the startup, then we try to do with the assemblies we have at the moment to adapt these assemblies in a different way. To avoid that we have any tooling or fixtures costs for the startup. And from the experience from the last 2 years, we found with every startup we work together, we found a solution they can buy from us also in very small quantities.
That's a wonderful message. So great news for all the startups who need a battery for their device. So thank you, Andreas. So my next speaker will be now Markus, and he is tech evangelist at Microtronics. And so in the DeepTech area, we have a lot of biotech, drones, advanced materials, AI, robotics, photonics, and electronics are often named when it comes to DeepTech. And it takes a very long breath to launch a solution successfully in these areas. What is the usual time span between idea and market launch? And what are the critical aspects that should be controlled to not experience delays here?
Mm-hmm. So one thing has become clear in the recent years. Every project is unique. IoT project, the focus is often just on the technology. But DeepTech is much more than just technology. IoT projects are interdepartmental projects. Beside research and development, topics such as production and legal issues often play an important role. Furthermore, marketing, sales, service, after sales must be brought on board also. After all, the best technical solution is useless if there is no market for it and sales does not know now how to sell and communicate it on the market. In the phase from the idea to prototype and finally to market-ready solutions, it is also important to look at more than just the technology. There are some questions which have to be answered at this stage. Which problem does my product solve for the customer? What does the business model behind it look like? And also, how do I earn money with this solution? But also the process in the company must be considered and adapted. IoT project is not finished in a defined period. The device will require many software adaptations, and this means not only to adapt to the constantly changing security aspects. Device and application management is essential and must be considered from the very beginning of the idea of the project. Otherwise, the project is already doomed to die at the beginning. At Microtronics, we follow two approaches to develop rapid progress and prototypes with our customers. We often We offer comprehensive support and IoT tailor-made suite, if you like to say it like this. We start with a workshop in which we take a comprehensive look at all the aspects of the project, not only the technology, but also the business aspects in behind. Step by step, we accompany the customer and support him in programming, hardware design, and everything else the customer cannot or does not want to do himself. Normally, it takes us about 3 weeks from the joint workshop to first proof of concept for the customer. The second option we offer are development kits, with which the customer develops his own solution. In the web-based IDE, RapidM2M Studio, there are many examples and the library is available to create own solution quickly and comfortably. The user profits from the RapidM2M ecosystems, which already solves many challenges out of the box. Also, we offer different transfer modes, a billing system, and also device and application management with our platform.
Yeah, that's great. I know your platform, RapidM2M, so this is really a wow for after 3 weeks, a proof of concept. So this is, and I know you can speed up the processes, or you have speed up the processes for a lot of startups and scale-ups in the past, and also very famous ones. So I know some of them. And one topic is also connectivity solutions. So there are a lot of new options around with low power technologies and like narrowband or LoRaWAN. And I know that Microtronics is very deeply involved in those low power solution connectivity options. You are also one of the partners of the LoRaWAN network in Austria. And we also have some narrowband IoT sensors in our innovation WorldCup everyone can apply for. So can you let us know what you're doing at the moment in this low power connectivity area and how IoT startups can benefit from these connectivity solutions you offer?
Sure. Low power is nothing new for us. Regardless of the transmission technology, our devices have already been designed for low power operations. We do this for nearly 15 years. Low power is relevant wherever devices in the field are to be operated with a battery or rechargeable battery over a long period of time. With our level meter for rainwater overflow percent, for example, we have a running time of 5 years with the integrated battery at a measure interval of 10 seconds and a transmission every 24 hours. And all this without low power technologies and with the classic 2G or 3G. So this shows how important it is to think through exactly when you need the status and where you need the data. Of course, we also deal with low power technologies like LoRa or NB-IoT. Currently, we are developing a new NB-IoT sensor. With this sensor and the RapidM2M Studio, it is possible for DeepTech startups and techpreneurs to realize their own applications fast and easy. For this purpose, their set of ready-to-use application can be used, which can then be individually adapted. The NB-IoT sensor, for example, is equipped with a temperature and an acceleration sensor. And in addition, the position is determined via GPS. Also, we have a system of charge energy consumption monitoring and can be connected via BLE interface or UART.
Yeah, that's I think for many use cases already a good set of features, and I think you're not all. I'm aware that Microtronics is not only supporting with, let's say, platforms you have in place, but also clear with also advice regarding the best connectivity option for a specific IoT device here. So if low power is relevant or not, and if yes, which connectivity option, what are the pros and cons of all these options?
Correct.
And you also have in the IoT Innovation World Cup, you also have a special prize, the Rapid M2M Challenge. We have to do this now very quickly because Thomas also needs some time.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about the Rapid M2M Challenge? Very shortly, maybe 3 sentences.
Yeah, we support startups with this. They have just to fill out the form on the website, and the 5 best ideas we believe they can reward it directly with the first NB-IoT sensors, and also we support the startups with our Rapid M2M development kit or an NB-IoT sensor. So quick.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for this. So it's worth to take part, and you can also get the free development kit, not only of Microtronics and also EBV Elektronik and also ST Microelectronics. We have additional completely different development kits in the Innovation World Cup. You can apply for free. And we also have of Würth Elektronik. He will tell us more. We also have some development kits inside the IoT Innovation World Cup. But I want to start with another question. So, Thomas, electronic and electrochemical components and intelligent power and control systems are part of many deep tech solutions. Can you give us an example you have supported recently?
Yes, hello to everybody. Yes, I think there are many examples, even for the startups when they want to build up their prototype. They take components they get from the Asian market, or they get very fast. And we support them with our components, because when they want to bring them to the market or go to the mass production, they have the problem that they don't get these components in this high quality they need. And for that, they get from us the samples, and they can use it for their products. We also support them with our know-how to build up PCBs. We help them with our development kits because they don't have to build up a solution for wireless power, for USB-C, or for smart lighting systems. They can use our components or our development kits to integrate them into their product and start very fast with their product. And all our components are certified. For this way, it's easier for them to do the next steps.
I see, and I'm aware that Würth also supports techpreneurs in also with your production facilities and so on. And can you give us maybe an example how you support a techpreneur coming, a deep tech from the deep tech area?
Yes, there's as example, we have green tech solutions or e-mobility solutions. We work together with startups. They build up small scooters, and we integrate for them the coil for the wireless charging. They get from us the development kit for charging these vehicles. And other things is we have development kits for IoT. It's our Amber Pi. You can send easily your data to a cloud, to a platform, and start your solution. Another thing that's very new this year is our lightning development kit. We have a kit for agriculture where you can have different LEDs, and you have a mobile app by Bluetooth. You can choose the right power, the right lights, the wavelengths for making your solution. And another thing is we have a full EMC lab that for the startups, they can use it to make their testing. And another thing is we make many meetups with our experts, and in future we will also do some pitch sessions for startups to find the expert.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. And you have now already answered my third question. So, because you already told us a lot about your startup program inside Würth Elektronik, how does your, let's say, also long-time support look like? Yeah, maybe in a timeline from ideation, we have learned now that you provide free development kits like the horticulture kit or the Ember Pie. But how is it from design to market launch, and maybe also this, let's say, if the market launch is over? So would be great to hear.
Yes, we start with some cost-free samples, and we gave the support to develop the prototype. The next is we look on the BOM. We give support to their components. We talk about the right components. We gave technology workshops to learn more about these technologies. We make a know-how transfer. Then we give the pre-compliance testing we can do in our labs. And then we can do a match to our experts for design or production to ramp up the product. And at the end, if the product fits to our areas, we can also give a sales channel to sell the product over our ADMs.
Yeah, that's great. So, and I think this sales channel topic is a wonderful one, because Würth Elektronik for sure has many customers that are interesting to a lot of startups and scale-ups as well. So we are, I think we have 10:59. I'm not sure how much time we still have. And we heard, so as I said before, we are all part of the Innovation World Cup ecosystem. And you can also see it behind here. We are looking forward to your submissions with your DeepTech solutions and your IoT solutions to the 12th IoT Innovation World Cup. You still have time for this until 9th of December, and you can win your spot at the Hanover Fair. So we hope that Corona will let let us do events physically also in 2021. And all other pitches are taking place at Medica virtually or also physically. So please feel free. It's completely free of charge, and all our partners can also support you with their great tech expertise. I will now, maybe you have you want to say some, I will say thank you now to everyone. I want to say thank you, and then we do some last words of everyone. So I want to thank our speakers for the great panel, and I want to thank our audience for joining our panel. Get in touch with us. So send an email. You can connect all of us via LinkedIn. You have our names. And also you can send an email to me and also to the Innovation World Cup team. And submit your solution for free to the Innovation World Cup. And now I want to give the word to you again. So your last statement, please.
Okay, thank you for your attention. As Sonja said, you could find me on LinkedIn. Get in contact with me if you have any questions around your ideas.